Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another cryptocurrency video. Today I'm going to be talking about RaiBlocks and kind of give you my thoughts on it. I think that it's making some really impressive moves and unprecedented stuff really as far as cryptocurrencies are concerned. And I just wanted to make sure that I was one of the first YouTubers to really give it the attention that it deserves, because I think I've seen barely anyone talk about it and I don't really understand why. I see this as like I did with Vertcoin. I was one of the early backers, I guess you could say, with Vertcoin. It was below $1. I said that it was going to, increase quite a bit, and it ended up turning out just how expected. And RaiBlocks is I see it sort of as being in a very similar situation, where it's really going to become one of the big name cryptocurrencies out there, right? And I would normally make a price prediction video, but I just want to focus here a bit more on the fundamentals. I'll probably make a price prediction video pretty soon. And yeah, like I said, I'm just going to focus more on the fundamentals here, talk a little bit about the price and stuff. But a couple things that you need to know about RaiBlocks. So it has no fees, it has instant transactions, no miners, it's decentralized, pretty much unlimited scalability, and no energy waste, right? These are all really big pros in today's cryptocurrency environment. And some of these pros are actually, what Bitcoin, for example, is having some major problems with. Things like network congestions and all that. So some other things that you have to know about RaiBlocks: it's only being traded on basically two exchanges, Mercatox and BitGrail, most of the volume coming from BitGrail, and that's where I bought my RaiBlocks tokens. I bought between $9 and $10. It was pretty smooth, no real complaints. Of course, it'd be better if it was on something like Binance, but that's not the case for the time being. Hopefully we can see that happen in 2018. For now, though, it works, and you can see it's already handling over $21 million in volume over the past 24 hours. So just a quick look at the price. It's been going up nonstop, right? If we look at the past 7 days, it's more than doubled, and very steady increase. Just look at the past day. We've really been going up in a nice, low volatile manner, which is not always the case. And if we move out a bit, the time frame to a month, 3 months, a year, we can really see that we're going more and more parabolic by the day, right? Let's get into a couple really interesting things about, and I should also mention that today we just broke above $10. That's a pretty meaningful price to be above, I should say, because once you break above $10, that's one of those big round numbers that is sort of a new support level, and the next stop, I guess, is that $50 mark. Of course, there's going to be some levels in between that, like $20, $30, where there'll be some resistance, but normally that's how it works, right? It's like with $1, once you break above $1, the next stop is $5 and then $10. Same thing here, but that $10 mark is really a very important price to break above. It's currently just entered the top 30 ranking based on market cap, with a market cap of $1.4 billion. So it just recently broke above $1 billion in market cap. And while you may say that that's big, that's actually relatively medium sized right now. And I think that this can definitely be a multi-billion-dollar cryptocurrency, right? Getting up there with in the ranks of IOTA and stuff like that. And that's because of its fundamentals that are really strong, in my opinion. Let's go over now and take a look at the subreddit. We can see that there's over 14,000 readers. Very big size, considering that it's on two unknown exchanges. Like I said, that's a pretty big size in that top 30 ranking, no matter how you look at it. It has a lot of active users. It's very active overall, and I just wanted to go over some of the top posts, because it's some pretty impressive stuff, right? So first, let me get through some of the very recent news. KuCoin will officially be adding RaiBlocks to its exchange, and it basically won a vote count. So that's great news that it's going to be added to that exchange, right? We want to make sure that RaiBlocks gets added to more and more exchanges throughout 2018, because that's really what's holding it back as of right now. I mean, it's doing great being on just those two exchanges, but we want to make sure that anybody who wants RaiBlocks can get it, right? And that's really going to be key as far as adoption goes, is being on as many exchanges as possible, especially stuff like Binance, Bittrex, those type of exchanges. It looks like it also won the vote requirements for Bitsy, so we'll be looking how that pans out and if it's going to be added. But otherwise, we have some pretty impressive numbers for RaiBlocks as far as the transactions per second. Now this is in theory. I don't think it's actually ever been tested yet, but it's still very impressive nonetheless, and we can see the comparison with things like Bitcoin, Dash, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple. Ripple being, the biggest threat, but only 1,500 transactions per second, while RaiBlocks can sustain and process over 7,000 transactions per second, right? That's absolutely huge. And a lot of problems that we're seeing with cryptocurrencies, right, as they're getting bigger and they're getting more and more adopted, especially with things like Bitcoin, are the problems like the high fees, right? Extremely high fees, the network congestions where it takes a lot of time to make transactions. And these are all very valid concerns, especially if people are going to use these cryptocurrencies as actual currencies, right? Which is what they're meant to be. And Bitcoin is having a very hard time, putting a case behind it for making itself able to do that, because it's having some massive issues with that right now. That's the only way to put it. And I think that as we move more and more into in the future, Bitcoin is really going to face a lot of competition as far as actual fundamentals go. And what I mean by that is Bitcoin has a lot of great pros. I mean, we all know that Bitcoin has its own things that are great about it, but as far as actual transactions go, people will start shifting, I think, more and more towards cryptocurrencies that transact in better ways, right? So that's mainly things like Ripple and, of course, RaiBlocks, because of those low fees, basically feeless for in the case of RaiBlocks, instant transactions. Why would you use something like Bitcoin, which is expensive, takes a long time to transact with, and it's just expensive to buy overall, right? Just look at the market cap. So I'm not going to say that Bitcoin is going to fall just yet or anything like that, but it's definitely something to think about moving forward. That's going to shift a lot of focus towards these cryptocurrencies that are just better for transacting at the time being. And so, like I said, 7,000 transactions per second, very impressive stuff. Just going over to the website, we can see that RaiBlocks was designed from the ground up for instant, feeless, and scalable transactions. One thing that I really like about their little motto here that they have in the header of their website is, do one thing and do it well. And I really like that because we see a lot of cryptocurrencies that right now that are trying to be a jack of all trades and bite off more than they can chew. Really, it never ends up well, right? So I like the fact that they're just focusing on being a very good way to transact. Right? That's all you really need. You don't need anything more than that. Couple things in their FAQ, it offers feeless, instantaneous transactions. Like I said, unlimited scalability. The network requires minimal resources, no high-power mining hardware. Massive advantage, right? There's all the drama with miners as far as Bitcoin goes. No need to worry about any of that. For RaiBlocks, a big relief, no doubt. And it works in a whole different, way, right? It's a DAG coin, which basically means that each account has its own blockchain, right? That's what allows it to make these fast and free transactions. This is all I'm really going to be talking about as far as the fundamentals behind RaiBlocks. I think that I gave a pretty good idea of what it's all about, and just to kind of recap, it is the solution to the problem that we're seeing right now with Bitcoin and the problem that we're seeing with transactions as far as cryptocurrencies are concerned, right? So it may not, beat out Bitcoin just yet. A lot of people are kind of calling for that already on the subreddit I saw, but that doesn't even matter, because if you look at where it should be right now, which is sort of, I see it in between maybe IOTA and Ripple, those are already above $10 million in market cap. So basically a 10 times increase from where it's currently at, and of course all these cryptocurrencies will grow. So you already get a good idea of how big RaiBlocks can really get. To finish this video, I just wanted to go a bit back in time and pull up the 1-year chart for Ethereum and Litecoin, and just sort of recall that Ethereum, for example, was basically, at $10 a year ago. Litecoin under $10 a year ago, made their way over that $100 mark. So my question to you is, do you think RaiBlocks is going to be the cryptocurrency of 2018 to make that type of move? And me personally, I think that it can definitely do that. I think that it's going to be one of those cryptos that moves from being pretty much unknown, very small, to being one of those big name cryptocurrencies that's in the top 10 ranking. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts about that, and let me know in the comments below. Yeah, that's basically all I'm going to be talking about in this video. Just wanted to give you an idea of what it's all about as far as the fundamentals are concerned, and I will be making a more detailed video talking more about the price and where specifically I think it can go in 2018. With that being said, I thank you for watching. Have a great day, everyone. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe.